Heading out for the shooting challenge. Coming up here to, one of the roads on a way to a trail, national forest. We've got some slope. I'll do another video once I find the place where I'm gonna stop. What am I hoping to learn? Hoping to gain some confidence just in the setup and stuff like that. Obviously, knock off the challenge. We have 22 shots. And there's some thick stuff up here, so maybe we won't have to go so far to get into that. Yeah, 22 shots, if I remember right. And some of those are going to be, there's going to be some holds, there's going to be some different distances, kneeling, sitting. I'm even going to try drawing from my back, like laying down, and then raising up essentially to a kneeling to shoot. So while maintaining full draw. Yeah, we'll go through some of these and see how it goes. Some of the longer shots are going to be, I'll do my best to capture all this stuff too on film. We'll see. On film, on video. I expect it to be a little hard, particularly some of these follow-up shots. Like, there's I want to say at least 5 or 10 that are follow-ups. Where it's like I shoot once and the goal is to like follow up real fast and shoot again. So I have 2 targets, both dot targets. I don't have any 3D targets just yet, but work with what we got. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking, and how we're gonna approach this. But I really wanted to practice some of those follow-ups and make sure that was something that was part of what we're practicing. A couple long holds, one 1 minute hold, one 2 minute hold. I don't know. I'll show the entire list when I edit this all together. And yeah, we're gonna get after it. All right, here we are. I'm gonna need to stop this video to actually get the kind of the space and stuff like that. But here we are. Let me pause and flip this around. I just realized that first video was probably recorded in 720. We'll have to fix that. It's in a car, but here we are. So I think we'll actually be able to do all the shots here that I want to do. So I'll have some uphill over here and some like really tight quarter stuff. We have some more open-ish stuff here. I might have to go up to the top up there to do like a really open spot. But yeah. All right. The other thing is, so there's there's target 1, target 2. The other thing is I do have a pack with me, so we will we'll be shooting most shots with pack on. Again, just trying to simulate those things. Oh, hello. Hold on. So Shooting a Darton Tritec 35. It is. It's got a spot hog. Trying to do all this one handed. 15-inch bar, spot hog, Boonie. I can't remember what the back bar is. 8-inch, 8-inch. Stand release. Shooting the Evolution Hyde. I didn't bring any, but I probably will have some Grim Reapers. Micro Hades. I'll have at least one in there. I didn't bring any for today. Probably the one thing I forgot, but the one thing I was kind of on the fence of doing, and I was gonna bring one just in case. But my arrow's about I want to say it's right around 460, 450. 2 Evolution Outdoors, 2 Beasts. And my speed is right around, it's a bow 70 pounds. Speed of the arrow is right around, right around 280, like almost on the dot. So there it is. Let me get these things set up and we'll get started. This first shot, take from down in that little clump of trees right there. All right, this first shot is going to be kneeling 19 yards. I'm gonna have to get up right here. Shot one down. So I don't actually know if I can do this, but let's try. Ooh, hi. Okay, kneeling or laying down to kneeling with a fast follow. We're gonna go pull arrows and set up for the next one. All right, shooting challenge is done. What did I learn from this? What were my takeaways? Overall, I felt pretty good about the shots that I made today.
I feel like 60% of them were within the one hexagon. Maybe I should have brought out a paper plate and just taped it on there, but overall, anything that was 40 and in felt close. I'll have to go back and look at all of them. Um, the the worst shots were on the long shots. I think that's where my goal is to work up to a 60-yard shot in case I need it in in open space. I'm not sure that I'm there yet. Um, got a couple more months, and this is one of the things that I have been practicing the most. Something what I've done different is made sure I didn't have my other pins sighted in, and so I didn't do really any like pin gapping or anything like that. Any sort of follow up. I think um, I likely have some time at the beginning of next month to go do this again, um, making sure that those are all sighted in properly. Would have brought out a fixed blade um, just to add those in. I probably would have I should have brought out an elk call to just work on um, calling after the shot. Um, those unstable shots are tough. I have to be more cognizant of lean of my bubble. I think is essential. That said, I felt like my third axis was generally pretty good, which is what I would expect. But I didn't notice a lot of major rights or lefts based off of elevation changes. I was impressed about the shooting from sitting, kneeling, even the laying down. Like I don't think last year, I want to say I tried practicing that shot, or maybe it was early this year, and I don't think I could pull the bow back laying down. So I was proud. I was happy about that. Actually, that was probably last year because I think that was the math. That was my Matthews. That front part of the cycle is a lot harder um, than the Darton. Two arrows completely missed the target. One was on the initial shot after the 2-minute hold, which we should talk about those. But so that one, and then one was a fast follow at 60 yards, and I misdialed. Um, so those are good things to know. I have a tendency with these uphills, downhills. I mean, maybe this is just a thing. Like I have a Vortex Viper rangefinder. Might be something worth upgrading. It's been on the kind of pseudo list, but it's been good enough. I don't know that it's good. I don't know that it's good enough. I it was fine, but it had a lot of trouble ranging through objects, or not through objects, but through brush and stuff like that. It doesn't give you any sense that it like you just hope it's compensating for the angle and for the elevation change. It says it does, but there's no indication that it's doing that. So um, you just gotta trust it, and it'd be nice to. I think I've heard that some of the others um, give you more. What's the word I want? Give you insight to the angle that you're shooting at right now. That'd be really nice just to know. Okay, I'm shooting at this angle right now, and it knows that. Um, the holds, man, the holds were rough. This bow is a lot heavier after so the thing that I did was put in work with a coach to work on my shot, and this bow weight excuse me, got the hiccups. This bow weight is heavier than my last one, and it is hard to hold up. 1 minute was hard. 2 minutes was dang near impossible. 2 minutes was dang near impossible. And I had to figure out how to give my front arm a break for the most part. What I did notice is that this arm, then even with the bow kind of resting on my leg, this arm started getting tired. Um, Definitely, I don't know if that's a work on thing. I guess technically, yeah, you would start to develop more muscle in there. I think a lot of it is just continuing to shoot. Um, I continue to see improvement in some of those areas. Was really happy with the leaning shots, with the kneeling shots, with the sitting shots, with the um, kneeling, sitting, leaning. Like those are even some of the tight spots were not as typical shots that I'm taking, and so those were good. And I felt like I did well with him. Took a lot of, or like it was paying a lot of attention to getting a good base and kind of feeling level. Um, if you That was a takeaway that I got from watching the Podium Archer, the recent Podium Archer attack uh, video with George Ryles. He talked about that. I think those are the takeaways. Overall, I was happy. Definitely some stuff to work on. I know I'm still working up to that long shot. I would say 50 yards and in, I I am fairly confident in most shot scenarios. Um, 40 yards and in, definitely once you start getting past 50, that's where we start to notice a lot of a lot of issue in the in everything. And even this is something I'm not going to be able to change for this year, but eventually I probably will get a backup sight to put on my other bow, another Boonie, and that one I'm going to make sure they put 10,000 pins in, because 19,000 pins are just massive. Um, yeah, they're just too big, and they cover way too much of the target, in my opinion. Like it's like I felt like there were times where on some of those 60-yard shots, it seemed like the entire target was almost covered. I was just like, oh, okay, here's about where middle is. So overall, happy. No one tells you how much work it is carrying up a matrix target around in the woods, uphill and downhill, and you know stuff. It was a workout. Yeah, two things that would be nice to improve this experience, or like this type of practice, would be a better rangefinder, an actual 3D target. I think those are two things that I probably should look at. So thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Sounds like we're digging the last one out. What was that? Really? Oh. Dialed for 45, 40, 40-ish instead of 60. Whoops.